buddy. So let's get underway with 131. A bit of a classic old hammer issue, isn't it?
Yeah. Second try.
Yeah. You're still not sore over the first one, are you?
Oh. But you are recording, right?
Yeah, I'm recording it. Now.
Okay. I trust you.
We'll get your confessional in at the same time.
Don't delete it.
I'm not. It's all going to be included, Marcel. But yeah, okay. I know there was a bit of a mix up, and you had an issue that was covered. I think it was 132, wasn't it?
Oh, don't ask me about the number.
It was 132 because I pulled it up before and it was that one, and we did it with another guy.
Yeah, so, no problem.
So many apologies for that. And
but same era.
Issue here. Yeah, it's basically just the issue before. So it's another classic one, which I hadn't actually seen before, to be honest. So this is the first time I'm actually looking at it.
Oh.
It's actually got the Ultramarine. I think that's the Tyranids. It's Advanced Space Crusade cover on there, but it reminds me of Ultramarines, the box that I got when I was in high school.
These are the Scouts, right?
That's the plastic ones. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. And your beloved Mighty Empires is there too.
Oh yeah. You can never have enough Mighty Empire box sets.
Yeah. I'm sort of looking forward to your little segments. You're going to talk about Mighty Empires in your personal campaign.
Yeah, I'm now a little bit more organizing it and trying how to handle it with guys taking part in all around the world. So that's not easy, but let's see. It's more about the narrative, telling a story and getting your stuff painted and also building terrain. Like if you roll on the tables and see, I need a river for that battle, then I have to build a river or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see about that.
Nice. Okay, very good. But off to a good start. We've got some classic imagery here to begin with, and then we've got the contents, and of course it's the cover of Advanced Space Crusade by Fangorn, actually. So there you go. I think he did quite a few of those back in the day. And it's actually got quite a few good articles in here. Not so much Warhammer roleplay, because I think roleplay got a lot of attention in this era, but it seems to cover quite a few different aspects of the hobby this time, which is good. Let's see what we've got next. We've got Retail Spotlight, of course, in Glasgow and Edinburgh before that, and whatever's happening in the store news events around in your area. But Games Day 1990, mate.
Oh, God, I was 10 years old.
How old was I? I was about 15. Yeah, about 15 or 16, I think. But it would have been the best one to go to. I mean, apart from 4th edition not being released yet, but it still would have been so many great games, and you can even see like Robin Dews running a game of, I think that is Mighty Empires. He's running there. And like all the big league events they had, like for Space Hulk and Advanced Space Crusade or Advanced Hero Quest and that kind of thing. Yeah, it would have been fantastic. So is this an issue that you picked up way back in the day then, Marcel, or is it something just a one that you've picked up later and you've had sort of a fondness for it?
Sadly, I think I looked into White Dwarfs by friends or even in the hobby store, but I think I bought my first one in the 2000s around. So quite late. And I mean, they weren't cheap. Yeah. And they still not are cheap. And I picked this one. I got this one here. And also, I think a dozen around this era. So late 80s, early 90s from a club that sold his archive or his collection
right.
of magazines. Yeah, so role-playing magazines and also these White Dwarfs here. And I mean, it's perfect. Yeah, like the ones you did before. It has a little bit of everything. Yeah, you have terrain building stuff in it. You have role playing. You have all the stuff that like here designer notes or so. Yeah, for the games they are developing, like the what was it called? Confrontation, I think. Yeah, the pre-Necromunda game.
Yep.
Kind of. So all this, yeah, and the illustrations and the miniatures, it's fabulous. I love these old White Dwarfs. So
yeah, and we're graced with one of Adrian Smith's, I think, one of the best illustrations ever done for Games Workshop, with Horus and the Emperor and Sanguinius. I mean, that just set everything. I was really interested in 40k when I saw that picture, because I think it was in the Armies of the Imperium for Epic, and that was the first time I ever saw it, because I wasn't really into Rogue Trader or anything like that. But yeah, that imagery was so powerful that I just like, yeah, I really want to know what this is all about.
okay.
Yes, it's a beautiful piece of artwork, that.
Then we have a William King story.
Yeah.
The Emperor and Horus. It says
cool. That's right.
Content.
And I think that was actually in the Armies of the Imperium Epic set.
Makes sense, yeah.
And I think that's what that whole story sort of, got me really, really into the whole Horus Heresy setting for Epic. Yeah. More so than the Rogue Trader games and that kind of thing. And we've got Fraser Gray, really talented painter, and who's still painting now. So Fraser, you can still contact through Instagram. And yeah, he's a superb painter. Was I think a graphic designer as a professional graphic designer for most of his career, and then he sort of quit, and now he does full-time painting for people. So yeah, super talented guy.
Really very bright and colorful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just got a real knack for blending, especially. The blending he could do was just incredible. Yeah, really, really talented bloke. And we've got some Bretonian artillery. That's not something you see every day.
Oh man, the parries, yeah.
In fact, I've never seen a Bretonian organ gun before. So, and a ballista. Yeah, I've never seen those before.
Yeah, the organ gun is I saw, but the ballista, yeah.
But nice. The table-mounted cannon. Classic.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Yeah, and I mean, you could field them in 4th edition because they had a list in these white.
Is it is it Ravening Hordes?
No.
4th edition.
No,
was that 6th edition? Is it?
Yeah. It came in the box set. I think just Warhammer Fantasy Armies, and they had just basic lists for every race before they got their own army books. So
right.
And I mean, Bretonians didn't have one till 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these war machines came from 3rd edition, so you could still field them in 4th if you want to.
Brilliant. I think you're sort of putting together a Bretonian list. Is that right? You've got some models that you've collected now, and you're sort of collecting a 4th, 5th edition army.
Yeah, and I went for the 5th edition, but I got my hands on what's it called? A siege gun from the Bretonians.
Yep.
So from this range here. And I just it's such a cool model, and I just want to use it like with the rules for the Imperial Great Cannon, just make house rules for it. Yeah, so
cool.
But I'm a little bit afraid of painting Bretonians with all the barding and heraldry and so on.
Yeah, it's a pretty ambitious project, mate. But You'll get the hang of it. Don't worry. You did very well with the Empire stuff, so I'm sure you do well with the Bretonians.
Yeah, that's true. But for the painting challenge, I choose dwarfs.
Ah, right. Okay, gotcha. Okay, nice choice. Okay, then we've got a bit of an Andy Chambers article on Space Marine using the Chaos in epic scale. Now, on the issue 132, it goes into more depth about that. This is like first edition epic, so it's before second edition. So it was interesting to look at the rules for that because it did actually change quite a lot and became a lot more simplified in the second edition of epic. But yeah, really interested to see how that sort of evolved from there.
With the
As it's
little
still more of a historical
templates.
thing. Yeah, and it got really detailed, like way too much. So yeah, I can see why they changed it. I mean, it's just so much kind of micromanagement involved with the first edition of Epic. Even though I've never played it, so it's kind of, I don't know if I should really talk about it that much because I don't know. I've obviously never played the game, so I don't have much historical or playing reference for it. But yeah, it just seems very, very complicated, too much so. But yeah, they probably try to get like Rogue Trader into epic scale and bring all those those weird and wacky rules into that. But it became much more streamlined in the second edition and much more enjoyable, I think.
Advertisements. I wonder here with these telephone role-playing games, I wonder how many people called that these numbers and lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, because it all costs money, doesn't it? Like it's not free. You got to pay. Yeah. So, and how did they do that then? Like this is before credit cards, isn't it?
I have no idea. Maybe
so, like,
just with your
you got a mail order.
bill?
You got to send them a check or something like that. How weird. Yeah.
Raven Armory.
Yeah. I love the Terminator one. That's awesome.
Are they still around? No, I don't think so. Huh?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Yeah, I don't know. One Google search and you can check, but I doubt if they're still around actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, this still covers the rules for playing Chaos and Epic. As I said, it's quite detailed. It's got lots of charts, and yeah, I think that would have been just a headache looking at that. But it's nice to look at all the nice, cool illustrations they had for it. A lot of cool Stephen Tappen illustrations there. Really cool.
God, even different rules for the weapons here: bolters, las guns, pistols, different ranges. God.
Yeah, it's a kind of minutiae and rules that you're sort of glad when you came to second edition when they sort of streamlined everything. But then I hear people from first edition not liking that, so I can understand that. I'd love to give first edition a go though. Be cool, even if you just had like all these old magazines, old White Dwarfs as a reference, because that was the only way they existed in the game anyway. You actually had to buy the White Dwarves to get these articles to actually play, these armies in the game. So yeah, and that in that way it'd be pretty cool. But yeah. Then you got to find someone who wants to play first edition Epic. That's the problem. So looks like some new rules there for Epic as well.
Gosh.
And we're sort of just there's quite a lot of Epic rules in here, so we're just going to sort of just glaze over those. Sorry, guys, but I'm sure. Yeah, there you go. All the iconic miniatures you got with Epic, they're still the same. And then back in those days, it was great because when you bought the box set of your miniatures, basically it was like enough to do, 2 legions. You'd have like, 2 detachments of trolls, maybe like, 4 detachments of minotaurs. You'd have so much stuff. You wouldn't need to buy another box set. You'd have everything in one.
They had chaos squads.
Yeah, chaos squads. Yeah, I painted mine up. They're brilliant. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's what I love about the the Chaos Epic ones. They're brilliant.
Even in Space Marine, so in the second edition also?
Yep.
Okay.
It really is. Honestly, it's basically the Rogue Trader of 40K in Epic.
Okay.
It was, so they basically just translated everything here into second edition. So you could even take, for example, like Land Raiders and Land Speeders, Rhinos, Sentinels, maybe. I don't think, maybe they got rid of Tarantulas and Rapiers and that kind of thing. They sort of streamlined those down. But you could take some Marine stuff as well. In fact, I think you could have potentially access to a lot of the armies of the Imperium vehicles as well. But don't quote me on that. But I think it's pretty much open to that as well, because it's all, Marines basically. But then you had all the cool stuff. You had like, the Minotaurs, Trolls, Beastmen, and all the Chaos minions and that kind of thing. So, yeah, very cool.
Copy and cut out.
Yeah, basically before the miniatures came out, you'd have to just cut them out as tokens and put them on your games table. How bizarre is that? But yeah, no, it's good to look back and just see how it was all done back in the day. Now, the Orc Battle Wagon conversion by Tony Cottrell, that's a really, really nice conversion too. I was quite impressed by this one. Because that's what you get. But you obviously need the Battle Wagon model and then some extra bits to make the conversion. But yeah, I think that looks like a really streamlined, funky looking Battle Wagon, that one.
Yeah.
And painted
Photocopy
red.
the templates ready for use.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like that one a lot. That's cool.
Oh, and it comes with a template also. Yeah, cool.
Yes, it comes with a template. Yeah. Don't ask me how this works, but I think there's like a transparent film that goes over the top of that to see where you hit in what location you hit when you roll your dice or whatever. I don't know. I've never played Rogue Trader, but it got very, very complicated.
Yeah, it's like a role playing with miniatures, I think.
Yeah, true. Axis and Allies and Shogun. This is when they're back in the day when they're still, promoted and advertised Milton Bradley games. Did you ever play Axis and Allies and Shogun at all, mate?
Yeah, I own Shogun. Yeah,
right.
This edition here, it's still around. Yeah, they made a new edition out of it. And Axis and Allies, I played with friends, and yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, just a lot of like a little bit Risk in World War II, kind of.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I think I played Axis and Allies, many, many years ago. When I was about 18 or something, I think, at a friend's place. But Shogun, I don't think I ever played. So, that's cool to know they're still around.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what?
I think this is a bit of a story here, like a 40K story in this section here.
Yeah,
so we're just gonna go
Inquisitor Cryptman.
Right.
Okay.
I think Marcel's got the actual issue there in front of him, so
which is
a good idea.
I'm just checking on the first page the contents, and then it says.
Sure. Now, Marcel did send me some photos, which I will add at the end of this video, where Marcel's actually made this fantasy townhouse.
Yeah. And I started it and left it unfinished for, I think, 10 years or so.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. And just finished it at the start of the year. And it's so easy. Yeah, you just need a little bit foam board and a lot of balsa wood.
Yeah.
But it's so easy and looks really good, and you can easily build different designs out of it, make it bigger, or add another a tower or whatever. So really, really nice and basic stuff, and really cheap.
Yeah, well, it's a classic design, isn't it? It's a classic sort of, European style Tudor house kind of design. And yeah, Matt, I'm glad. I'm really happy that you made it and you finished it. So that's fantastic to see. And yeah, it's, terrain's one of those kind of overlooked aspects of the hobby. But I think once I think people get into it and they find articles like this and they can see that the process is not so complicated and the materials are not so expensive, hopefully they'll get into it and start making their own buildings.
Yeah. The only thing is, if you compare it to the miniatures, maybe make it a little bit bigger.
Right.
I mean, medieval houses were small, and you also don't want to have a large footprint on the table, but maybe just a little bit larger in height. That would look better, I think.
All right. Okay, good advice there, mate. So if I do get around to making my own at some stage, I'll make mine a little bit higher than a few centimeters higher then. Now we've got Advanced Space Crusade here.
Sorry, I never played the game, but this board is just shocking. Yeah, it looks like an LSD dream come true.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Oh god, I would get nightmares of that.
But the only criticism I have about this board is that it makes it so difficult to see where the miniatures are. It's really hard. It becomes like this kind of, like you say, like an LSD. You need like 3D glasses or something like that to pick out the models or something like that. But it's
I don't know, because the rooms are without spaces or tiles.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
You are just in a room or in a corridor. Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe you can only move one area at a time, so you can only move one space per turn or something like that. Maybe
that's why it's called Advanced Space Crusade.
Yeah. You slowly advance
and get crazy.
But yeah, people who've actually played it, please let us know. I think from like consensus that people who actually played it, from what I've heard of, is that they said it's quite a good game. So we'll have to find out. I know people on our Lucky Bastards channel and people Postman Pat channel or whatever have had Advanced Space Crusade delivered to their home. So if anybody's played it, please let us know in the comments about what you think about the game.
I think it also came in a White Dwarf later on with rules to include Space Marines and Imperial Guard and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know. Or that was for Space Hulk. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. But it wouldn't put me past it, because I think they did it for most of the games. They allowed you to expand your miniature collection in a lot of these games. So it sounds about right. But yeah, really funky looking artwork here, concepts of the Marines and Tyranid warriors. And of course, Dave Gallagher's iconic artwork of all the scouts and all the chapters. That was pretty cool. And we've got its predecessor, Space Crusade.
Hooray.
I still haven't played it, but thanks to Carnifex, I do have a set that I'll at some point have to go through and start putting together and painting it at some point. But now you've got the German edition, is that right, Marcel?
Yeah, and it's kind of the child version. Yeah, so because no one dies in the German edition, they will just get sent back or sucked into the chaos dimension.
Yeah.
And don't ask me. And they also renamed all the Space Marine chapters.
Yes, it was very interesting. You showed us that. Yeah,
really weird, but I mean, it's an official Milton Bradley GW corporation, so I don't know why they changed the names. Don't ask me. And I mean, in HeroQuest, everyone dies, no problem at all. But in the sci-fi version, they made it this way. Really weird.
Yeah, maybe the names of the chapters are just too coarse for like German ears. So like, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, that kind of thing. Like, it was just too hardcore for them at that stage. So they had to soften everything up.
Yeah, maybe,
So,
but they also carried it over in the army books later
oh,
on.
really? They did? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah. So don't know why they changed it just for Space Crusade.
Yeah,
No
that's
idea.
strange. But yeah, a lot of people have fond memories about Space Crusade, and I would like to experience it at some point to know what those feelings were. But it looks pretty cool. I love all the separate kind of like a console you get where you can put all your little weapons and that kind of thing, your armaments in there and that kind of thing. You can sort of outload your guys from mission to mission. So, and the dreadnought's just brilliant. I just love that design of the dreadnought. That's
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. In fact, I think I'm going to put mine together and actually play it as a Chaos Dreadnought in 40k second edition too.
You have to check out YouTube because the problem is, especially with the dreadnought and I think with the captain, you can equip them with different weapons. And there's a tutorial on YouTube to magnetize that. So your paint job will not get scratched or damaged.
Cool. Okay, that sounds good. I know Carnifex sent me like a 3D printed one as well. So there's someone out there who's making like a 3D printed design of this particular model of the old sort of style Space Crusade Dreadnought. But I just love that design. I think it's so cool. And I don't know if I ever get my hands on one of the like the Perry Chaos Dreadnoughts, which is like the coolest one ever. But yeah, but this will do very much so. But on the other page, we've got some heavy metal pictures here of some orcs with some Gretchen assistants, which are really cool. I've got a beastman. They could actually be like handlers of Chaos Hounds at that stage, and maybe in 4th edition, I can't remember. We've got a classic Bretonian knight, and of course a Chaos Warrior from Marauder Miniatures.
Oh, the shield looks fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Beautiful, isn't it? Yep, wonderful. Wonderful. Here we've got Paul Robbins. Now, Paul Robbins, if you don't know who this person is, Paul won Golden Demon with a classic dwarf, Marauder Dwarf army. And actually one of those models actually features at the top right-hand corner of this article with a dwarf giant slayer. He did these wonderful tattoos, and one of them had like, skull. He was like painted black, and he had like skull tattoos painted on him, and like a skeleton, like a skeletal sort of design on his body. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant painter. Like, yeah, just awesome army, that one. But this is like basically his foray into White Dwarf, and it says like he's a newcomer to the page of heavy metal. And he's won prizes both with his in this year's Golden Demon Awards and in the Marauder Blade competition. So yeah, so he was an upcoming and very promising painter. Really liked the Dragon Master's dragon that he did too. That's excellent.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. Very nice. Looks like it's an FAQ by Rick Priestley about Warhammer Fantasy 3rd edition, with all its various types of machines, war machines, or characters, or regiments in there. So I think we might just skip past that. We've got a White Dwarf subscription, and we've got Mighty Empires.
Yeah. More charts.
Yep. The wilderness locations.
Yeah, and I think, this article supports the Wizards Tower. They released some additional metal miniatures for these locations in a blister.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's super rare to get.
Yeah.
And and this covers the Wizard Tower, where everything can happen, from the wizard joins your army, gives you magic artifacts, or will destroy you with a fireball. So everything can happen.
If I remember correctly, though, Marcel, the Wizard's Tower was actually the exact design of Citadel miniatures. The icon they used was Citadel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marcus, my friend Marcus in Australia, he's got one of those.
Yeah, I have to check.
Yeah, just check it, because it's exactly the same icon as Citadel. And they're as rare as anything. Like he's got one of those. He's just using as like a, as a decoration kind of thing, not to use in games or anything like that. But I think he just used it because he just liked the design because it's based on the Citadel logo.
And it's like all the Mighty Empires stuff.
Yeah.
It has the perfect scale for terrain for Manowar.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, that's for sure, mate. Yeah. So, especially the fortresses and that kind of thing, and you see those used in the Manowar terrain anyway.
Yeah, and even the ships from Mighty Empires, you can use them as Bretonian ships or just merchants for scenarios. Also, perfect stuff.
Yep, that's right, mate. Now, here we go. Confrontation.
Whoa. I wonder if they published all the rules, if you can actually play that game.
I've heard that they'd never finished it. Now, don't quote me on it, but I think they'd never finished it.
Yeah. Better play Necromunda anyway.
It's better to play Necromunda. I think it's one of these Brian Ansell creations that just never got finished, sadly. But it's got these wonderful Kevin Walker illustrations of all the weapons. I know weapons are not really my, I'm not a weapons guy kind of thing, but I really like the illustrations they did for all these weapons especially in the second edition. What was it called? The book that you got with all the weapons and stuff in it. I can't remember what it's called now, but
yeah,
he did all those and they look brilliant.
This gear book,
yeah. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyhow, there you go. There's some concepts of the Brat gangs there. Also, some look like corridor gangers down the bottom there.
Yeah, but you can see where the Necromunda gangs came from. No?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, scabies, nomads.
And I would have actually preferred it if they sort of kept a lot of these original designs in Necromunda. They just look more wild and just, I don't know, they seem to be more nomadic or looking, or it looks like they're sort of just grabbing anything they can find and scavenging and that kind of stuff. They look too organized or too clean in the gangs that you found in Necromunda. So I kind of like the old style Rogue Trader concepts for Confrontation.
Okay. Yeah.
Myself, but yeah. But obviously they needed to uniform them in a style that made them very distinguishable between all the other gangs, and I can see why they did it. There you go, nomads.
Maybe also easier to paint.
Maybe easier to paint, and it became the just became more clearly identifiable on the tabletop. I think if they kept them to the original designs, it would have been very murky as to what's what kind of thing. Mutant gangs, I like those ideas. I like that idea. More mutants. And we're sort of coming to the end of the magazine already, Marcel. So here we go. We've got our price list and order form. So order away. They did take Visa card. There you go. Visa cards did exist.
The price list is really shocking. If you see a greater demon of Nurgle, £4.
Wow.
Yeah, I take 20.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's one of those Back to the Future things, isn't it? Like Biff and the is it the Olamac or whatever it's called?
With the sports results. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it with Citadel miniatures. But it's got some beautiful Jezgurun concepts here of the Fire Dragon Exarchs and the Swooping Hawks, and this would have been fairly new, I suppose, at this time. Eldar, and some cool looking greater demons and the lesser demons,
and the horrors. Wow.
Yeah.
So many different sculpts.
Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it? All by Kev Adams. Even the Plague Bearers too, Kev Adams as well.
And they have all different names.
Yeah, that's true. I just noticed that now, actually.
Screamer, Howler, Squealer, Shrieker, Twister. Wow.
Whaler. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
And the Nerdlings. Oh.
And there we go. There's some role play there for you, mate.
The Doomstone campaign. Huh.
Yep.
Oh, and the Leechmaster. That's a classic one. The Leechmaster role-playing game is you can play it and can also incorporate Warhammer Fantasy miniatures in it, because there are 2 battles in it, like an ambush on a farmhouse, like a skirmishing game. Really cool. And later on, there's the end fight around the village with the necromancer here attacking the village with catapults and all of the undead hordes, and it's really cool. You can easily do that. You can use the townscape set
of course,
for that. Yeah.
Which I believe is now, you can find images of townscape as a printable file, and you can just stick it on card and make your own townscape buildings, which I've seen people do, which is really cool.
And I just bought the Tears of Isha cardboard set.
Oh,
that
nice.
was in Germany not released as a box set, but the text was released in White Dwarfs, I think, in 3 issues, and you could order the cardboard separately from the mail order.
Oh, right.
And the problem is the PDFs you can find on the internet are very blurry.
Yes, I think Paul was talking about that. He was trying to find one for us to use in our campaign, but he couldn't find a good PDF for it.
Yep. So he is now very happy that I will get it and scan it and send it to him.
Coming to our rescue again, Marcel. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I really appreciate it, mate. But anyhow, that wraps up our time today for our it's not your first White Dwarf, but a White Dwarf that you're very fond of, and I can see why, because it's got such great content in it. So thank you again, Marcel, for joining me, mate.
A pleasure, as always.
And it's good to catch up with you, mate. Okay, so we'll take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, that's it, mate. That's a wrap. Thank you, good sir.
Man, all these I will dream tonight from this LSD cover.
But even
you have to think about if your kid gives you his list for Christmas and says, "Mommy, I want to have this game," and you go to the store and see this game, I would never buy it. Never.
Yeah. But even Fangorn's art's pretty out there, isn't it? Like, it's really dark. It's dark and really, they look really menacing.
They could use Alien as a reference, but it just looked like a candy shop invaded by body slime. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. And you are very busy, huh?
Extremely busy, mate. Like, this Zoom's going to cut out any minute now. Like, it's less than a minute. So if you're on Discord, I'll come and join you in a minute, mate.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Good. I'll see you there in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, mate.
Bye.